Hello everyone! Just getting started today, checking out my setup. Things are different. Hopefully my audio is fine today. Doing an off-the-cuff little stream today. I really want to finish up that pull request we've been working on. So hopefully that'll be done today. Let me just finish closing a couple more things on my screen. Finish quitting these. And no one's on anyway, so it's alright. I'll just keep talking while I set this up. One more window. As I mentioned, we're going to be working on that pull request I have been dealing with, which is for the Xamarin.Forms fonts. I really want to make sure we get this thing in there. There's a couple of things that I've done over the last ones that I'm not totally sold on, and I want to clean some of that up. One of those being a lot of that font parsing. Here, let me adjust my camera. Stood yesterday and messed things up. One of the things that I really want to clean up is the way that we parse the fonts out. And the first set of stuff I did a lot around that, and I don't like it. I don't like what's going on there, and so I want to clean that up and make sure I do more of that in cross-platform land, because a lot of that is done per platform, and there's no reason to do it each. Hey, where's my font? Hey, people are talking. Repo link, yes. Sorry, my chat wasn't up yet. Let me get the repo link in there. For those of you who are talking, one more window. Sorry, I'm just opening everything up. Almost done! Almost done! Alright, right here. Let me share my screen. I think my screen is safe to share now. What project's loaded? Oh, let me quit Slack first. Almost ready. Slack's quit, Teams is quit, and Gitter is quit. Alright, let's jump over to my screen. The repo we are dealing with today is github.com/Clancy/Xamarin.Forms. And we are on a custom fonts branch. So let me link this in here. There you go, if anyone wants to follow along. And forgot to pour my drink. I started playing with my sound bites. Did that work? Did you guys hear the sounds? I just added that. Not sure if it works or not. But yes, pouring my can of Mountain Dew. Thanks for the follow. I just saw a follow. Bruno, thank you for following. Hopefully this is enjoyable. You heard a little. Was it too quiet? Should I tweak my sound some more? Ready?
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Why, hello, Dave. My sounds work now. My mic is good. Yesterday we had lots of mic issues. My mic is blown again? I wonder what happened. So is it my talking that's wrong? Or is it the sound effects I was making? What's wrong? No, I'm not hitting red. It's hitting the yellow. Okay. Opening up my sound settings again. Ooh, another follow. Thank you, BM Combi. Okay, recording. So weird. Alright, how about that, guys? How does that sound? Is that better? Can you even hear me? So it's better? You can hear me? I need to get a new mic. This mic just might be going out. There might be something wrong with it. I can hear it fine in my own ears. I just wonder what Windows is doing wrong with it. Alright. Regardless. I should have opened this project earlier. Alright, so let's open up Xamarin.Forms. So my sound is perfect now. And my sound effects.
Alrighty then.
Hopefully those work alright too. I really need to get my sound figured out. Yeah, I got the Stream Deck and everyone does all these like really fun noises, and I figured I should get into some of that. So added a couple random ones we might throw out here and there. Okay, so we have our Forms project up, and what we've done in the past is we've been making it to where we can load any type of font we want without having to do ridiculous on-platform nonsense, especially in our XAML. In the past, we've had to do some ridiculous things. Keep going, Xamarin.Forms. Visual Studio. And one of the things that I really hated was doing the on-platform for iOS, UWP, and all three of them had very, very different load types. It was pretty crazy what we had to do there. Sorry, clicking, keep going. Anytime now. Visual Studio will open. I should have done that before I started my stream. But what we want to do is I can actually show you in the project code while that's loading. Inside of this pages gallery, what we have is the XAML, which right now I've cleaned it up so we can do this type of stuff where we can parse it. If you have a funky font family or font file name and it has a different name that doesn't match the pattern, then you can specify with having the hash. And that'll work now on iOS and Android and UWP. And if you have a font where the font file matches the font name inside, something like this, you can just specify the name and it works, which is really, really nice. Now, the problem is that logic is duplicated slightly differently between iOS, Android, and UWP. And I want to take a minute to refactor that, put that into shared code. Then we can write tests to make sure this thing parses out right always, which is good. I'll want that before I submit this pull request anyway. So we'll get some text in there. We'll get some that and maybe write a test. Maybe I won't write the test today. It doesn't matter. And then the other thing I want to accomplish on this is iOS. If we have time, I'm going to do a shorter stream today, is I want to be able to do iOS font loading where it does the dynamic fonts automatically for you. So you'd say on iOS there's like the preferred font for a button and it just tells you what it should be. So if people adjust the accessibility stuff, you get that magically on iOS. Android already has that stuff built in and we're already using that, but iOS does not, and it's really sad. There we go. Visual Studio caught up. So what I want to do is jump into the platform code and let's look at how we're implementing this so I can look at how to strip this thing out. Inside of iOS, it's under the renderers on iOS, right? There is a label, or font. No, it's not under here. Is it under extensions? It's under extensions on iOS. Let's close everything, close others. Let's open up the Android one, and we can get moving on that. And I also, the other thing that we did last stream that I need to finish on UWP is you'll notice inside of our sample, our resources live in the shared project, inside that shared code. So we no longer have to do drop into the iOS resources and drop fonts there. No registering in an info.p list. Android, there's nothing in the assets, and these fonts work. So we did that last stream, and I need to finish that on UWP. But that now works on iOS and Android. We need to finish UWP. We can do that. That's really easy. It'll take like 10 minutes to do on Android or on UWP. So we've done that, and we now need to, let's clean this up a tad bit. Okay, so we have that one. Let's go to Android. Yes, I'm glad you guys are excited. It made me really, really excited to work on that because I'm like, I was adding custom fonts. I'm like, this is painful. Let's do a pull request to make this better. All right, so inside of this renderers, there's an extension in here, and it's called font. Right? I thought it was in here. Am I blind? Fonts. Okay, let me just search for font extension. There's iOS, macOS, Android. Okay, found it. So, and then let's also grab the UWP one. Does it index the UWP one for me? There it is. Okay. So inside of here, all of these have this, where's the parsing? Get back fonts. All right. So all of them are going to do this thing to parse it and get it into a format that it wants. And it's kind of lame that each of them do that and they each do it. You'll notice the code's almost identical. This one even has some of the UWP comments in there. And where's it at here? Very, very, very similar. So I want to create a new parsing class. And we have a font thing. I wonder if we just throw it right onto font. Let's go to core. Let's see what's in core. Yeah, I think I'm going to throw it right onto font. All right, so actually I don't know if font makes sense because we need an internal font class that is going to handle, why am I in platforms? We need to go to core. So let's add something into core to deal with parsing these fonts, and we'll move all of that logic there, and then we can deal with handling it elsewhere. All right, so font's a struct, has a family name, has attributes, has named size. Okay, yeah, I don't want to just throw it onto font. That's not going to help us at all. We did do a font registrar, which we added in. I wonder if throwing it on the font registrar makes sense. It's not the, yeah, we might. I just don't want to add an extra class in here. And I want to do this all in, no, I need to do this internal anyway. Actually, we're going to add a new class. I'm just going to do it. So file, new file, and this is, I'm trying to think what to call this thing. Font file, I think makes the most sense. So we have this public class font file. What this is going to have on it is it's going to have a public string font file. Actually, you can't do that, can you? Can't have the same name. So file name. We'll do public string extension. Did I spell extension right? I don't think I did. That looks better, right? All right, so we're gonna add an extension on there. Public string. This last one is we need to know what's this called? It's called Postscript, I think. Anyone want to remind me, make sure I'm doing this right? I want to make sure I'm naming these things right so they make sense. The thing I'm talking about is on the speaker page, we have this font family. Why won't this scroll over? Scroll, scroll, scroll. All right, I broke the new editor. Sorry guys, I'm on internal stuff. It is Postscript. Okay, thanks. Oh, Dan, you joined. All right, so let's name these things right. So we have our font file, and this is Postscript name. All right, perfect. So we can now fill this thing out where we can have a static, or sorry, font, oh, sorry, public static font file, and we'll do from string input. And we'll do that. Now what I want to do is I want to take a lot of this logic I've had from all of these other ones. Oh, I also wanted to have, so the Postscript name, there's the one that has spaces in it because UWP needs spaces. I think I want to throw that into here too. Is there a different name for that one? The spaced out one? Is that the, I don't know. UWP needs spaces. Um, does it have a different, do you know what the name is on that? We'll deal with that in a minute. I wonder if there's a different name. If someone wants to look that up, that'll make that simple on us. Okay, so let's go and grab some of this extension parsing stuff. And this Postscript name does not have spaces. What do we call the one that has spaces? So I want to make sure I'm naming these right. Dun, dun, dun. Let's just do return null for now. Okay, so what we do is we say, does it have a hash? And after there, we'll say the name, which is, I'm saying if it's in front of, something's wrong here. I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. I'm renaming these variables because I had them all named wrong. So full name and font family. All right, so you have a Postscript name, full name, and font family. Font family is, I just want to make sure I'm naming the parts of these right. So string full name, is that the one that has the spaces in it? Or is that, that's what Matt calls it? That's a good idea. Look at the yeah, we can also look at it on Windows, see what they call it to make sure it matches there. All right, so right now if we're saying if it's greater than 1, the name is, that's the Postscript name. Okay, and that's right. And this one is the file name. Or it's actually the font family name. So yeah, this one's the font. I think that's right. All right. So what's in front of the hash is going to always be the full name, with or without. Okay, so Dan puts a thing in there, PS name. Font Awesome Pro Lite is the full name. Oh no, that's the Postscript name. And then the full name is, I'm not doing that whole full name though. That's ridiculous. So we'll just call it, I don't know, we'll leave it there for now. But we don't need that whole full name thing out there. We don't actually need it. Each platform is going to construct it into what it needs. So what we need to do in here is grab our extension things here and see if it has an extension that we support. All right, so now we do the TTF and the OTF. So if it has one, oops, wrong one. We're just going to add in there and say, does it have one? If it does have an extension, we'll fill that out. So, I thought I called it an extension. Oh, we need to create this thing first. All right, so at this point we'll do var font equals new font file, and we'll say extension equals found extension. That should be right. We'll be able to say, yeah, we'll just assume this is right. So we'll say file name equals font family name. That's that one. That's what that goes to. And then the postscript name equals postscript. And I think that will separate it out right. Now we only need the space one on Android. So PR to make it easy to add fonts. Okay, yes. Oh, and I should do my topic thing. So yes, we are working on font stuff. So I have my little topic thing. Topic, what are we doing? We are adding custom fonts to Xamarin.Forms, adding better. Custom font, loading to Xamarin.Forms. That way, topic will update. Close that off, let that update. It's going. Yay, it's going. Okay. So I think this will do now, and I'm just not going to do that full name. I'm going to just, we will just throw an extension on here, so you can say postscript with spaces, wherever. That's on the UWP one. It's the only one who needs that. And where does it do that? Load font family. I did something in here with spaces. Okay, substring. I had an extension or something in here for getting the spaces. Does this do that? Right, this does it. Okay. So that gets them all out as spaces. So we'll just move this over to our new font file thing we're doing. And actually we can just return this thing. No magic's happening in there, so it doesn't matter. All right, so we'll do this, and then what we'll say for this, let's bring this in. Excited that we'll be able to put this into, oh man, it complains about that stuff. Okay, that looks good. We know that thing had spaces, so now we can do, what do we want to say? Inside this class, we will add a public string get postscript name with spaces. I don't know what to name that thing. If you guys have a better idea, please let me know. And this will just return string.join. Whoa, why did my IntelliSense or my little autocomplete thing get so tiny? Comma. What happened? It's not even readable. Like I said, I'm on early previews. I deal with the pain, so you don't have to. And this is going to be get font name, and we're going to pass in there the Postscript name. And okay, and I'll just hit enter so that way you guys can see it better. Okay, let's shrink this window down. We need more vertical space. Come on. You know you want to adjust. There it goes. Gotta coax your IDE every once in a while. Okay, so that'll now check for extensions and if we have them. Let's also do static. Let's make this public. Public, static, read only, string, and we'll just say that equals this. So that way we can get access to them elsewhere, all of the ones we support. Redundant. All right, perfect, even cleaner. All right, perfect. Now we just need to change this extension search to use that. Okay, so now we've got a nice little fancy font file thing, and we can actually do this in shared code, which will make this a lot nicer because yes, everybody doesn't need everything, but making it to where we can split this thing out is going to be really, really nice. So we have this clean font name, and instead of calling this, there's one more thing missing. We need to make sure if it has the font name, where's it at? Where's it at? Font file. If it has the font name, we want to remove that extension. So the platforms that don't need it. So if found extension is not equal to null, it's a string. So we'll change this. String.isNull or white space. Let's put a not in there. What we'll do is we'll say that the font family name equals font family name. Dot. You can't trim a string, can you? It has to be a character array, yeah. Dot substring. We'll just remove the last thing, so we'll just remove the last. If it's not null, we'll just say 0, comma, font family name dot length minus found extension dot length. That will make it to where now our font family name no longer has that. Actually, I wonder how hard it is to add in a test for this. That could be fun. Let's do that really quick. Unit tests. Xamarin.Forms core unit tests. Is there one on fonts? Font attribute. Font unit tests. There's a font unit test, guys. We can just throw in some new ones. All right. So we'll just grab, I always like grabbing stuff. I'm lazy. Okay, so instead of this, we'll say test font parsing. And we probably should add a bunch of these in here. Or if no, they're doing a bunch of different ones. So we can have a bunch of them. All right, so we don't need this stuff at all. We'll say var, trying to think. So let's look at our sample really quick of our XML. I just want to make sure I'm grabbing valid stuff. And we'll put everything we support into here, and we can make sure that this thing will build it out right. So XAML, speaker page. We'll grab, I don't know why this isn't scrolling sideways. Like I said, I just updated to an internal preview today, so I've got code that's not released yet, and I need to file a bug, because that's not cool. All right, so var input equals, we'll start with this one. I don't even know what to name these styles. We probably don't even need to name them. What we'll just do is say, I hate naming. Naming is the worst part about writing tests. Why is that complaining? All right, so we'll just do, maybe we'll separate these out into different ones. So we have this one. I don't even know how to name this because this is, what's the style we're calling these? But 2 is going to have .ttf. We should have one that just does monospace spaces. Oh, we need to, yeah, we're not going to support spaces. They shouldn't have spaces because we're not going to know what that should go to in the end. So we'll do that one. Let's go over and grab that last one, which is just this. And this can be named in a couple different ways. Okay, so we'll say var font1 equals font file dot from string input 1. Var font2 equals font file dot from string. Now, are there any other formats you guys can think of that I should have that I'm not doing? Feel free to ask me. Let's throw those in here. Let's make sure we're covering our bases here. So, okay. Now we can do a cert that are equal. We'll say font1 should, or dot font family. So this one, the extension should be null. The file name should be that. We'll say that the postscript name is pt regular mono, and the extension is null. Come on, isn't there an is null or something? Yeah, it is null. Oh, there's an is null or white space or empty. That'll work. All right, so that'll check our first font. Let's do this again for, and we're not going to need the null because this one has. This one is dot extension equals dot ttf. We will copy this one and we'll just say cute font regular. Oops. Cute font regular, cute font regular. All right. Oh, and I should actually swap to using the different fonts. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Is my test running stuff just gonna let me just run that test? Maybe I have to build first. Build. See what happens. Uh-oh. Build error. Name is invalid. Oh, name. Yeah, input. Okay, so let's try building again. Where's that test? Build the test. I'm excited to throw a unit test in here. Now I'm gonna have to go fix the platform specific stuff because they're very broken. Oh, I just want to run that test. All right, so unit tests, Xamarin page core forms, core unit tests. Let's find fonts. That is really small, and I'm sorry you guys can't read that. What do I call that? Font parsing. Okay, so let's run that test. Uh-oh, it failed. Expected null or empty, but was null? Oh, wait, not null. Oh. Is null or empty? Okay, well, my test was invalid, so it failed appropriately. Run the test again. It passed. Woohoo! Super exciting! All right, so now that that's passed, let's go into here. This one is iOS. Wait, am I? Yeah, I'm in iOS. Okay, so we don't need to do with, oh, I want to make sure I don't kill the font registrar stuff because I need it to go and do that. So let's just kill that thing. We don't need that. All right. So var font file equals font file dot. No, come on. Why is that lowercasing that on me? Font file dot from, and I should not be using, I might switch to stable from string, and the string is, I don't remember what comes into this now. Family. Do I need, oh, I probably need that using, don't I? Okay, let's go fix that. That should not be, yeah, we can leave that hidden under core. All right, so now we have that. We can also say, we don't need to know if it's found or not. We just need to call it. We need to call, just so that way it will look it up if it's not there. Font registrar dot has font, font file dot. Okay, I need to say, we do need to go into this font file thing. Oh, that's right. It's going to have to search through those. Because if it doesn't have that extension name, we need to, let's just go undo what we have because we're going to need that stuff. We're going to need some of it. So we'll leave the cleansed file thing there. I'm just thinking back. If there is no extension, we need to know the extension to be able to copy that thing off. So we don't need all of this though. We can go through here and say, just throw that in there, font name. We now have our font file. Let's add that using in. Let me get Keycaster on. So that way you guys can see my key presses again. All right, so what we'll do here is we'll throw the font file in. From the font file, we can say if font file dot extension. So if it has an extension, just look this thing up. We'll do, so has font. We need to do string concatenate this. And I might, actually I'm going to throw this on to, let's go to the duck. Okay. Public string, we'll say string file name with extension. And I wonder if we should pass in, I don't want people set, we'll do 2 of them. Okay. Equals this. I know it's nothing fancy, but we are going to need this elsewhere. Oops, yeah, that's right. And this one, we'll just say, okay, perfect. So that way you can do it with or without. We can say file name dot file name with extension. Oh no, that's right, we had that one right. And then font file dot file name with extension. All right, return that name. Font file dot postscript name. Perfect. And also, oh my, I didn't move that thing up here. There you guys go. Now you can see my stuff. Feel free to ask questions or tell me if I'm doing something stupid because it's very possible I am. And I make little mistakes wrong all the time. All right, so inside of here, we'll just say formatted equals with extension. extension, oops, throw that there, return name, which is file dot postscript name. Okay, now that's using this. We need to do the lookups, and the lookups are going to be different on each platform. This thing is going to be the same on each of them. We're going to be doing something very similar to this on each platform. Let's do that. Now let's look over to here. Oh, right, we do folders as well. All right, so is access font done, done, done. Let's jump into here. So now we're just going to throw this, make a bunch of, and delete those. We'll clean up that white space. I just want to make sure, and I could just go copied text. I just didn't want to lose track of old text. Okay, so now we have font file. It's going to parse it and give us a nice pretty format. So from our font file, we're going to go through each extension. And in this one, we first do the registrar check. And this is something I want to clean up as well. But we'll do, for each here, that's this thing, right? And font name, what do we call this thing coming in? Font family. Let's just rename that to font name. That way it's consistent across the three of them. All right, so font name, that we'll do, if has font, we don't need this thing anymore. We can do, oh wait, did I have that in the old one? No, I copied paste. I have copied new code up. We'll do font file. Whoa. Font file dot or file name with extension. So that'll get us the extension one. We'll now say to do look that thing up. It does this. File path is this guy. Okay, this should now work again. Almost done here. We have this where we say, okay, so it doesn't have extension. We now need to loop through each extension, and we also have to check each folder because this stuff is lame. Okay, so for each extension, we'll do each extension, and if it does have it in the registrar, oops, I know we're just commenting code again, but we'll do that. Font registrar.hasFont. We'll do this. Okay, we need to clean that up. We've got some to-dos in there. Now, if not, we'll do folder. Let's remove most of this. Oh, the assets need to look it up differently. So it needs the folder. This is the font file dot file name with extension, comma, font file dot postscript name. And it has formatted somewhere else, I'm guessing. Oh no, formats can be used again. So now I can remove this old code. And why is it not like this formatted? Local parameter formatted cannot be declared because it's already in a different one. Oh, it is. So yeah, we'll just reset that. That should be fine. All right, iOS and Android should now work. Let's try running one. Let's hope it works. I trust my code. Do you guys? No one's talking or telling me I made an obvious mistake, so I'm hoping that means I'm doing it right and you guys trust me. Run Android. We'll run iOS as well. Again, guys, sorry about the audio. It's done that now 2 days in a row. I've been streaming for a couple months now, and this week is the first time I've had issues with sound. So that's fun. All right, let that deploy. I'm going to reply to a text to my wife really quick. Ooh, I heard a pretty sound. I keep hearing this sound, and I don't know where that one's coming from or what it is, and it doesn't show me alert anywhere. So, heard a fun sound. If you guys did something to make that sound, I'm sorry that I'm not replying appropriately. Oh, I need try catches in here because it's going to throw up and say, I can't find you. The old, oh, that had it right there. Oh, right. Hold on. Let's go back and look at some old code. I just want to make sure I'm reading this right. Launch the GitHub app. Crazy sound again. I do have Flutter installed on my machine, and I just used their emulator because it was the everyone was installed. I didn't want to install a bunch of them, and they installed one by default. So, Forms. Okay, so let's look at the old Android code really quick. It does do inside of its old checks. It would say if it has the name, it would just create from the file. Is that where it blew up? It had it. Yeah, I really need to find out where that sound's coming from. I wonder if it's coming from this machine or my streaming machine. But it's a very pretty sound. I just don't know what it is. All right. Move my music off the screen. Okay. Return. Okay, so this file path should be right. Data user cache. Oh, that's missing the extension. With extension. Right. So we didn't do that code right. That's the problem. That's the problem. It found it, but we didn't have the extension in there, so it couldn't load it properly. All right, run that. Try this again. Come on. Music app just crashed. Who wrote this piece of crap? All right, let that go. Where's my simulator or emulator? Yeah, it's funny that they name their emulator Flutter emulator. I don't care what it's named. But it's doing Xamarin.Forms work anyways. Take that, Google. All right, yes, our fancy fonts are working. Let's try iOS now, and then we can move on to. We probably should fix UWP while we're at it, but I don't feel like we'll just fix it and say it works, and then I'll run in a minute. So how does let's run iOS while that's going. Okay, so again, that's get all font possibilities. Right, it does it very differently because I can't check. I hate that about UWP. I can't say, hey, does this font exist? I have to create the different options for it. So we haven't done the resource stuff yet. So I'll just ignore the resource things for now, and we'll add that in as a separate commit. So var font file equals font file dot from. And since this is UWP on Mac, we're not going to get any IntelliSense. None whatsoever. And we're going to have to, will it let me do that? No, it's not. It's inside of Xamarin.Forms.core. This is hardcore coding. No IntelliSense, nothing telling me if it's right or wrong. We're just going to assume it's right. And we're going to commit it that way. And then I'll run it on my Windows machine. All right, so our fonts are still working here. Custom fonts are. Super exciting. And the code's simpler now. More shared code, so I'm less likely to make a mistake, or if I fix it in one place, it'll be fixed everywhere. All right, so where were we on here? So now we're going to grab the font file. So has extension is easier now. So if it has the extension, we will just say that is now string dot is null or white space. No, is not is null or white space. Font file dot extension. Okay, so now we know if it has an extension, path slash font family. Okay, and so on that we will just say font file dot get. I'm copying and pasting that. We know it has the extension, so we can just do this one. All right, perfect. Does that. Else comes down here. We don't need all this nonsense because we have our font file now. Oh, that's where it does its spaces thing. We don't need that either. Okay, so now font family, we don't need you. You are gone. Woohoo! All right, perfect. This really cleaned that up a lot. Really, really happy with that. All right, so here we'll do path, and we're going to do this with the extension. We're going to delete that. We're going to do name, and on our font file, we added, let's go here. Go to declaration. Why is it telling me it can't navigate this? I think I need to restart. I think it's time to restart. We'll do this, throw this in font file dot that. All right. If I did everything correctly, then of course I did, right? Do we even use this in here? No, you're not even used. Die. Go Dynafire. All right, that's gone. Yeah, UWP should now still work. We're just gonna commit it and say it works. And if it does, we'll find out in the other ones. Okay, don't need that. Commit this. Nope, that's just me messing with spacing so we can see stuff. Ignore that. Font file's new. Font extension. Done. We don't need to change the manifest. All right. Moved font file parsing to shared class or share to Xamarin.Forms.core. Added unit tests. Woohoo! Super exciting. I like adding tests. Makes me feel good about myself. All right. Well, I'm glad you trust my code, Lemons, because I definitely trust it a lot. I committed without running, so of course it's good. We'll run it. We'll go over to UWP in a minute. All right. So I could fix UWP. I think I want to. What did I say my goals were? Fix UWP. Move that stuff out of the shared code. I still need to fix the temp stuff on the Android, those to-dos I had in there. I'll need to do those for UWP as well. UWP should load using the other stuff. UWP does not load from the platform, the embedded resources stuff yet. So we could do that, or we can do iOS font stuff. Do you guys have a preference what we work on next? Just get my Windows machine syncing stuff over. Anybody? What do you guys want? UWP, or do we want to do iOS dynamic font stuff? And we actually get to add new stuff to the other platforms as well when we do that. No one? No one? There's 17 of you watching and no one cares? Okay, then I might not do UWP because it's kind of a pain to do that. Yeah, let's do iOS fonts then. Okay, so to do this, let's bring up some docs. We always need docs. Xamarin.iOS, dynamic fonts preferred. I think it's called preferred font sizes of whatever. There's forums docs, UI font. Let's see what's in here. So what I think we need to do to make this nice is right now we know we already have Xamarin.Forms named fonts. What do we have in here? So we have like 3 of them, and they're super lame. Oh, 4 of them, sorry. Micro, small, medium, or large. So I want to make those things reflect, but also we need more of these. So luckily, iOS has a bunch that they specified for us. Preferred, all these preferred ones. All right, so we have those preferred ones. Now if we go to material, coming without running is the best, as described as one of the worst. Hey, I can't run UWP on this machine, or else I would have. But I did run the other ones, and they worked, and it compiles, so if it compiles, you're good, right? Nothing ever fails after you can compile. And I didn't actually compile UWP, so, but it's gonna work. It'll be fine. It's on a branch, it's not master. Actually, while we're doing this, I will run it on my other machine just for sanity check. Let me. Okay, sorry, I was looking up material. What is the material website? Material design. I can't remember. It's like there's material.io. And then also UWP has some of these named font stuff too. Can't remember. I found no, they don't call it dynamic stuff. UWP WP named font styles. I think it's something like that. Hey, typography. All right, so we have 3 docs that all tell us what things should be. All of these things, if we use these points, it'll just work. So if we find what matches up with these, let's do type system. Here it is. This is the one I'm thinking of. It tells us what the font sizes should be and everything. So if we decide what each of these should be and what they most closely line up with, we can now add a bunch of named ones that uses these point fonts. And right now, inside of Xamarin.Forms, we do everything as an SP instead of actual points. So it's a size point, I think it stands for. So it'll automatically size them. So as long as we do like 96, and someone ups their stuff, it'll go up to 120 or whatever their magic scaling number is. And UWP, of course, will do it based on the scaling of their desktop. And if they 1.5 it or 2x, it'll do whatever. So we don't have to worry about there. We just need to make sure that we line these points up as closely as possible, and we can add some new named ones in there. So inside of here, we need body, callout, caption. I don't know if we need all of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of them. And over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got more. So we've got like nothing over here. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so let's start out my simulator. Do I have my accessibility stuff on? Let's launch Gmusic. It'll show us. Yeah, that looks accessible right now. Hey, that's the wrong one. Where's my... Oh, my stuff. That's all broken anyway. Actually, we can go to the settings. Let's check and see if this one's set all accessible. Accessibility. That's under general accessibility. Large text is on. So let's turn it off really quick. That way, when we launch our app, we'll be able to see what these sizes are. So let's just make a little cheat sheet for ourselves. We'll go into code, Windows. I can close all these, I think. Oh, too many. Too many. Close the whole thing too. Start new file. All right, so let's do Xamarin.Forms. Let's go into platform. Not platform. Pages. Let's go to iOS and let's go into our app delegate. And what we'll do is var. What are the names of all these things? We have preferred. Let's just go body equals UI font dot preferred body. Okay. Var header equals UI font dot. We'll just do them in order. Call out. Why is that complaining? I thought that was right. Oh, it's just a get. It's not even. Oh, that's going to make this even easier. All right, so what we'll do is var s equals. We're just going to do something fancy, actually. Static string font name. Is that what I want to do? No, that's too much work. We'll just do how do you do this C# new dynamic, the function things here? We'll just do, no, okay. I'm getting too fancy. That's not needed for what we're doing. Name of, and we will just say UI font dot preferred body. Oops. I was just thinking of a nice way just so I can just list them all in there, but that's getting too fancy. No, I'm wondering if these aren't all gonna fit, are they? So what we'll do here is var items equals new. We'll do this. That way you guys can see what I'm doing and we're not losing it. Then we can just copy and paste like crazy. So now this equals join. I wonder why when I go to string.joins my autocomplete like that freaks out. Or my tints. It's so weird. I need to file a bug. Alright, so fonts, got that. Console. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is console not added, system not added by default? Okay, put a breakpoint there. We'll just copy this variable out. Now we can copy and paste a lot of these. There was about 10? Ooh, I need the enter on there. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully that's enough of them. Call out. Caption. Caption 2. Sorry, this is boring. You guys wanna someone wanna tell a joke while we're doing this? Anything interesting? Any questions? I can totally think while I copy and paste. So if you have any questions, now is the perfect time. Let's ask questions. Ask hard questions. It's always fun to go on little random tangents. Title. Nothing, nothing. You guys are quiet. Title 3. So is that all of them then? Let's just add another one just to be safe. Yeah, that's all of them. Okay. 3 of them. 10 of them. Guys, missed your chance to ask questions. I'm silent now. Okay, let's run that. Get some fancy cheat sheets. Okay, so oh, okay. It actually gives us all kinds of stuff. Tells us the font name and the size. I can deal with that. So here's our cheat sheet. Probably should have done those differently. Yeah, I don't blame you for working on your own stuff while I do this. Okay. Okay, rough one. Here we go. I have 5 oranges. Take 2. How many do I still have? So it depends. By take 2, does it mean you took 2 and so you have 2? Or you took 2 more, so now you have 7, yeah. Depends on how you look at that. Tricky wording, tricky wording. Alright, so let's just hit enters on these. Should have formatted that better, but we don't care. 23, 21, 34, 28. Okay, sounds good. I wonder if we can do some stuff with ratios and stuff. Now let's go look at, I want to go look at what's in there for our named fonts on iOS. So iOS, Xamarin.Forms. Actually, I was going to do this commit on a different branch. I think so. Let's see how this stuff even works. I haven't even looked at how Xamarin.Forms uses this stuff. Probably would have been smart. So, What are those font size names? Let's see if we can find where those are at. Okay. So let's search for micro. Micro has to be hard to find in here, right? Well, we're going to find it inside of every file that uses it, I guess. Micro, enum right here. Okay, name sizes. Okay, so now we can find where this is at. Lots of little bugs on it. Device. Okay, so there's a device.getNameSize. And which device am I in? Core. That's not where I want to be. I want like platform specific stuff. Okay, iOS extensions. Here we go. Oh man, we don't do them per platform what the name sizes are? That's really, really interesting. Get names platform, it jumps to platform services. And so each one's going to have a platform. Then why in the world does the... That didn't make any sense. That doesn't make a lick of sense. Why not just use, I guess it's the quickest way to get to the platform service. All right, so let's find references. Let's find iOS platform service. All right, so now inside of here, get named font sizes. They're just hard-coded, micro. Let's go look at our thing and see how these things tie up. So 12. Nothing is that small. So maybe we can do something based off ratios. 14. Nothing's 14. These are some small font sizes. Okay, so medium is 17. We're getting warmer. That's just our preferred caption 2. And large is 22, which is a call out. Interesting. All right, now to do this, we have to think, do we just want to use the built-in ones here? Or do we do something with aspect ratio? So it'd be pretty simple to figure out what the ratio would be. So we can say, we can leave it here so we don't break everybody's apps. Oh wait, they even have notes in here. iOS has default 15 font. Font label size 17, so we use those defaults. That's funny. Is it button is... Wait, I didn't do button. Isn't there a preferred button text one? Totally thought there was. Button font size. Oh, there's more of those, which is 18. Oh, that's cool. We can just... Okay, button size is 18. Small system font size is... Oh, I wonder... Where is that coming from? I'm wondering if that thing's dynamic. If that's not coming as an extension from Forms, if that's coming from the platform, we might be able to, if I didn't lock up our IDE, we can totally abuse that. That'll be perfect, because that lines up, I can't check. I thought that lined up nicely. Wasn't micro 12 or something like that? Or was it 8? I'm just going to force quit it, and we'll go through the load up again. All right, I like where this is going, guys. I like what we're finding. All my Mountain Dew is gone.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
One of the best quotes from that movie. And I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey, Chip. Okay, app delegates reloading. Go. This is gonna take a minute. Okay, well we can check the docs where we're at here on this UI font. No, it does have small system font size. I wonder if that's going to change. So that's what we need to check, is we'll run it. We're going to change the font sizes. Oops, wrong. No, don't open Outlook. Sorry. I am opening the wrong stuff. This Visual Studio is still opening. It's dying off that giant project. All right, so while that's going, let's think this through. If that font does change, we should be able to piggyback off of that and just say, hey, small's this. And then the dynamic fonts will just start working. Yeah, 12, 14, 17, and 22. I think that was right. It was something like that. We'll have it up in just a... I hope we have it up in just a second. Go, Visual Studio, go. You're not using any CPU. Okay, let's kill the debugger still trying to work. Let's close that. That gives me some CPU back. Visual Studio is... what's it doing? If it's not thinking, it's using no CPU. All right, we're going to... we'll go to... I'll go to stable. Stable Visual Studio. No more fancy early stuff. Although I'm still using the early preview stuff anyway. Let's load this. This window is resized wrong. That looks good? Yeah, that looks fine. All right. Go, go, go. Okay, well that's loading. Oh, and my font's way off. Zoom you in. Okay, so is it this one where the... yeah, this is the iOS platform services. So we can go... something like that. Let's... almost there. I know it's somewhere around here. Getting close. All right, so 12, 14, 17, and 22. You were right on the money. All right, so let's throw some more of these in here. And let's do... throw that in there so it throws some new lines. I think you just only need /n on Mac. All right, and we'll do that. Let's throw in some more of these. Oh, IntelliSense hasn't kicked in yet. I think it's button font size. And there was the system. Let's at least do the system one. Small font size. And then let's throw on system font size as well. Oops, thought I copied that. IntelliSense will catch up on me eventually. Once these resources finish. Do many of you guys open projects this big, or do you guys work on Xamarin.Forms often? This thing is just so big. Uh-oh, one sec, kids are at the front door. Let me go let them in. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and we're still updating resources. See if it'll let me run it while it does that. Okay, that's going. Because this will be pretty simple. If we add in some new named enum things in there, we'll be able to then do, just add that on each platform. We'll be able to do that. Yeah, it's not liking that. Yeah, no, it's going, it's going. It's going. So we can add in some new ones. And then from there, we'll be able to just make them dynamically work or magically work. Which other ones am I missing? So it's just the small and the system font and the button. And is that it? Yeah, okay. We're almost there. So there was a 12, not 10. Go, go, go. Build faster. Okay, I should stop clicking around. Every time I click around, again, it messes up, or it slows it down. All right, so, any questions yet? Nobody questions? Anybody working on anything interesting? Go, go, build. Yeah, I wish I had someone here to sword fight with. Then I'd have something fun to do during my builds. I guess my kids just came home. I could get them to go get some builds, get some swords. Can always spin in my chair. Mobile build tools 2.0. What would that get me, Dan? Is that what you're working on? What all's in the mobile build tools? I've heard you mention it a few times. I know it has stuff in there for automatically doing the assembly, building out the manifest XML, stuff like that. Oh, that's what you're working on. Perfect. While that's going, this is what Dan's working on. Can we act? Oh, wait. Caught up. It caught up right when I was bringing it up. Okay, so I want to save these off. I want to go into the device, and we're going to change the accessibility stuff this time. Nope, don't want to save that. And then we're going to see what it looks like. All right, so I hope I need to quit debugging first. So cancel, stop debugging. Go to the simulator. Let's go into the settings. Let's go to general, accessibility, large font on, and we're going to crank this thing. All right, so now let's run it. Xamarin.Forms CSS, well, that's exciting. I've been asked to look into that and see what we can do to make it better there. Okay, so the button size is changed. No, the button size didn't change. That's interesting. System font size, and none of that changed. The only thing that changes are those preferreds. So those are the only thing that we need to deal with. It's really interesting those didn't change. Now the question is, I wonder if those ratios are accurate. So if we were to say like 53 divided by 23, it's a 2.3. Clear. Now let's do 51 divided by 22. 2.31, so 2.31, I can remember that. Let's see if that's still right. So now 43 divided by 18. It's slightly off, 2.38, but I think it's within margin close enough. So then 40 divided by 17. Yeah, we're close enough. I think if we were to use a ratio like that and then round whatever came out, so 44 divided by 19. Yeah, that doing it ratio wise, I think we'll be right on. Okay, we can do this. We'll just say, which one do we use as the body? We'll just use the body as the main thing, okay? All right, so let me think how to do this. Oh, I was opening the wrong Visual Studio. I want this Visual Studio. This one's loaded and has everything. All right, so let's stop that. Let's go over to iOS. And inside the iOS device stuff, let's say, we could even, I wonder if we should add something on platform to automatically scale all your fonts for you. But I don't know, we'll just go with this. Because if you're using a named font, you probably want this to auto scale. That's the whole point of using a named one, is you don't want to think about it. You don't have a set point. So if you use a named font, you get scaling. We're just going to assume that. Now when this thing starts, do we have anything? Alright, okay, pixel screen size. Let's do, oh, they have a read-only double font scaling factor. Equals UI font dot, we're saying preferred body divided by 18. And these come out, oh, preferred body dot size, point size. Why is UI font complaining? You can use an, I could have, NS, oh, oh, okay, so they're doing something else with that. If mobile UI kit, else, okay. So we just need to throw this into the if mobile, else one. That's the problem, because we're in Mac OS. Okay. That's what we need. All right, so now we have our font scaling. Will it auto? How does it not exist? I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm probably gonna have to int cast it. Let's just run that and see what happens. 4 errors. Okay, I could have sworn, did I add that inside of an if mobile? If mobile. No, that's not an if mobile. Private member, I'm trying to use it. What am I doing wrong? Anyone see what's wrong here? The name font, how does that not exist? Right here. If mobile, NS object notification, and if. I'm not crazy. This isn't static, so that doesn't have to be static. Someone help me. It lets me assign it. So it definitely exists. Oh, that's a class. Oh. Oh. That's in device info. I put it in the wrong thing. Okay. I'm crazy. That's easy to fix. Super easy to fix. Okay, so let's find that now. Or do we have access to this device info from there? Internal class that. No. And it does that. Dun, sets that. Okay, we're just gonna move this out of here. I put it in the wrong thing. So that's iDevice info. Just made sense with all that other scaling stuff. And now inside of this class, we'll do this. And now we'll do, this one doesn't have a constructor, does it? No, it doesn't. So if it's funny that's mobile instead of iOS because it doesn't really matter. Well, yeah. All right, perfect. So now let's run that. And we should now get named fonts scaling. And I might want to cast those off as ints because we're not going to want those weird point like 2, 1 or something like that. So I know that's technically weird, but we want it to lose that data. No, I don't want to do a double cat. Oh wait, just returning an int should work, right? Or is it going to want me to double? No, it won't make me double cast. Good. We're going to do that just to be safe so we have all whole numbers. Okay, so we now have some automatic scaling working. We just need to add in new stuff. And then we'll have to add the closest approximation to them on iOS and Android. So let's go into our little testing thing. Hi. 1 second, guys. All right, back. So, yeah, let's decide which names we want to add. So I want to compare this now to the Android doc. So let's bring it up side by side. So we've got our preferred sizes. Let's go to what material does. So material, oh, go away. I don't want it to. There we go. It's close enough. So, and actually, let's look at how these things scale differently between, oops, wrong one. I need to move this other Visual Studio around. Let me reorder Visual Studio so I keep trying to stop opening my preview. Okay, got that. Okay, so let's look at search, find in files. Let's go find the Android and device, core, Android. Let's look at how they do it. Oh, so they're actually using the built-in text appearance stuff for theirs. That's pretty cool. And they put a default of 12, 14, 18. Pretty close. 12, 14, we have 17, 22. Okay. That's if small size equals 0. Else. Oh, this tells you what the target element is. That's interesting. Do they both do that? They do. Okay. So, if we're going to look at how that works, we're probably going to want to put something like this in iOS and Android and UWP for these new sizes. I wonder if we need to. Large, medium, and small, micro are nice with having the oh, we forgot one. Well, I forgot one. All right, so now that one scales too. Okay, let's look at these sizes because you probably want to be able to use the types that they recommend because those sizes are pretty different. 22 is the callout. We don't have a body for 23. We don't have. Wonder if we just add these in. Let's just do it. Go to declaration. Let's go body equals 5. Wonder if we should do all different callouts. What's people saying? It scales? You don't multiply it by the scale factor. Yeah, I did. Didn't I? Oh, that one I didn't. You are correct. Thank you. I just cast it as an int, which is dumb. That's what I meant to do. Thanks for catching that, Lemons. Whew. All right, that'll work better. All right, so we want to add the body. Let's compare these again to what we have over here. I just want to make sure. We have body. We have headline. I just want to make sure this stuff's all visible for you guys too. All right. So body, we have the title stuff's just going to be the heading, right? 34, 34 heading. And body is 16. This body's 23. Wow, so those are big point differences. That's kind of shocking how big differences those are. And caption, 12. Wow, those are very drastically different. But we should be able to do all that because this has title, caption, subtitle. We don't have, oh, we have headline and subheadline, which are going to be those ones. Preferred title, preferred title, preferred title. We don't have titles. What would you guys consider titles to be on Android? Would it be the lower H's? Headline would be the big one. Subheadline is the 2. And then you have title 1, 2, 3, go down like that. Does that sound right? And then footnotes we don't have, but we do have caption. Trying to think how all these line up. Call out we don't have. So what ones do you guys think we should add? Which ones are useful for forms? Yeah, title is maybe H3 or H4. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe like title 1 is H3 and then go down. Okay, let's look and see. We know we have nothing over here on the Microsoft side. There's like 3 things. Do you think we need to add all the different titles? Should we just add one title? So that way we at least have one of each? I wonder if that would work to have header, I mean the title, so that way we just have one of everything. Let's go with that for right now. Let's do body, title, subtitle, lost all my stuff. So, we need header, title, subtitle. Subtitle, caption. I wonder if that gives us enough to cover everything. Because that will cover, that'll make it toward those map really nicely to everything. What do you guys think? Do you think that's enough just doing header, title, subtitle, caption, and body? Anyone? No thoughts? Maybe we start with these and we can add more if people request them. Yeah, we can always add more later. But I think this will give people a lot more anyway. So yeah, people should be really happy with this. All right, now the nice thing about these is name size dot body. No math here. Yeah, I know there's a horrible lag. I'm sorry. I need to be more patient. I have the settings on the set as fast as possible for the delay, but it doesn't matter. How do we do this for Mac though? Because these use the same file. For Mac, we're going to need to do the scaling, but Mac's not going to scale. Let's just do this, right? UI font dot preferred body. Probably just gonna have to if def these things in there, which is kind of ugly. Dot font size or dot size. Need to remember point size. Okay, caption. Caption 1. Oh, we're gonna have to. So these are these UI or N floats. So name, size, header. Oops. UI font dot preferred header or headline. So medium, micro, subtitle. Font. Wait, subtitle. Hold on. Oops. Force quit my mail. Almost opened that. No. Okay. Subtitle. Subtitle is going to be. Would subtitle be. No, subtitle should not be the subheadline. That's bigger than the title. Subtitle, will it be footnote or caption? We don't have caption, so let's go with caption. That sound right? If you guys disagree with what I'm doing, oh, please let me know. Or if you have any recommendations for what we're doing. It's funny how it's saying that cast isn't needed, but it also wouldn't go. Okay, so that's all of them. We know we need title. Oops, no, I don't want to build everything. I just want to run this on iOS. Let's go into our gallery that we're running. Let's remove these breakpoints. Oh, that's going to go away. Let's add some named stuff now. Okay, hey, I can scroll sideways now since I'm in. Okay, and I already have it running. Let's go into here. Font size. Oh, it's only gonna, it hasn't updated. So instead of micro, we're gonna say header, and this one will say. Let's run that now. Okay, so while that's building, I would love some feedback, guys, and making sure. Oh no, I did add caption. I didn't do that right then. Forms, this one. So we're missing caption. Oh no, I did caption. Okay, so what would subtitle be then? Would it just be title 2? Let's go with title 2. Okay, that's building. Is it running? Oh, it is running. Wow, yeah, that really messed with my fonts because my fonts are big and our cells aren't set to auto scale. Speaker size. Oh, this is using that weird. I don't know how to change it on that, so we're not fixing that. But okay, we definitely, and we have nice big. Let's look at that one more time because it had really big stuff. We'll go change the setting on the screen and see if it fits better. And it should be like title, subtitle, or title caption. And then we need to just go add those same ones into Android, do the same mapping, and we're good. Okay, perfect, nice and big. Let's close the app. And it is technically possible to listen to the notification of when these things change, so that way you can take advantage of that. Where's this at? It's under general, but that's overkill. I don't think we need to even deal with that because people don't change these dynamically very often. And quitting the app, we'll go nice and small. Quitting the app and restarting it, it's doable. It's fine. Okay, speakers. Hey, we have a different font size now. I like it. It's getting somewhere, guys. Our font sizes are dynamic, and those are totally the wrong font sizes. And I think those are what we want. Okay, now we need to go into Forms Android and make sure we add this. Oh, and we need to fix that code so it'll build Mac because it's not going to build Mac. Let's go to here. So what we'll do here is we're just going to paste that in here. And now we're going to go grab what those things are. So preferred body is 23. Return 23. We need caption 18. Header is 23. Is that right? Headline's 23. Okay. And subtitle is title 2. And then title is 34. Now we can actually borrow this code for Android and we'll fill it in with the appropriate values. Okay. So now we get to go do some matchy-matchy. All right. So for header, is header really 96? It's so big. 96. Did I do, I didn't do sub header title. No, I didn't. Okay. So we've added header. We need to add body. Body is 16. Let's just go down in order so I don't miss one. Caption. Caption is 12. Header is 96. Subtitle is going to be 16. And then title, we were saying, would it be like 34? That looks, yeah, that even matches what iOS does, but that doesn't go right with the ratios. I wonder if we go down to like the 24. Okay. Now let's copy this over to UWP and we've added them all. Feel free, guys. Before we do this pull request, I'm gonna put it up there and we'll open up some discussions and I'll make sure that I post the links to these and people put in their thoughts on what these should be because, yeah. Does it not have the named font size thing on that? Oh, that's crazy. GTK, GTK. So this one's iOS, GTK. UAP. It has it. How? Okay, I'm missing something in you. I have no idea how UWP UWP does that. That's weird. So Forms UWP, that's that. Is this the one that or I'm missing something? Something has to implement that iPlatform service. Very weird. Very, very weird. All right, this guy does it. Windows Platform Service. Why aren't these named the same? Size dot get named size. There's an extension method? Well, that's fun. Consistency is so awesome in this thing. Okay, that's it using it. Here we go. Wow. Why in the world is it that -3? That makes no sense. Why isn't it just 15? I'm sorry, I can't help that. I'm doing it. There's probably some weird random bug and I'm breaking something by doing that, but I can't. I just can't. Okay. Yeah, thanks for joining, Lemons. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm almost done anyway. We're about to end this thing. As soon as I finish this one, I'm gonna end the stream. So I just want to make sure we had all these put in there. Got a new magic sound. Did someone do something that caused that? I don't see any alerts anywhere, but I heard a magic sound. So confused when that happens. All right. Ah, I know what that one is. Thanks for following, Lemons. That's not the magic sound I've been getting. Okay, where were we? We were going to this one. So header is 46, and I can't copy that. It's an image. All right, so we'll start with body. Body is 14. Yeah, to do fix sound. Although, this doesn't make sense. 14 for a body is smaller than micro. I am really confused. I'm just going with it. I'm going to cite this doc because it is what it is. So 14, caption is 12, done. Header is 46. And then subtitles, 16, subtitles 20. And then title is 24. Perfect. All right. I'm happy with that. I think we just did it. I'm probably going to, what do we have in Git? Yeah, I'm probably going to move these into a different branch. So let's, and I don't even need it based off this branch. So let's open up a repository, open in terminal, git stash, let's go to master, git pool origin master. How is that? I'm missing something. That can't be right. Oh, I should fetch origin. No, isn't there? Branches, merge into current branch. Is forms master not? Upstream master, that's what I wanted. Ah, that's it. Okay, so now we have upstream. Oh, did I get a merge conflict? No, how did I get a merge conflict? Okay, something's wrong. That did not work. Let's reset that. Get clean. Actually, we'll just do it here because I don't want to delete everything away. Discard all changes. Branch. We'll just do it through here. Upstream. Okay, we're already up to date. So it did it. Okay. I don't know where all that other stuff just came from. So we've got the latest that. Now we can do is dash pop. Merge conflict. I'm fine with the merge conflict because it's on the speaker gallery thing. Who cares? Disregard that. Disregard that. We're going to disregard that. We don't care about that one. Name font sizes is there. Adding named font sizes. That's our scalar stuff. That's good. That's good. All right, so now we're going to create a new branch. iOS font scaling. Okay, so added new named font sizes, iOS named fonts now all auto scale. Use the iOS preferred font scaling stuff, so fonts are magical. Okay, I actually want to add one more comment before we do that. Inside the oh, this is going to take a minute to refresh itself. Let's just go to this one and reveal in Finder. Oh no, that had it right there. Open in Visual Studio Code. We'll just add the comment right in here. Name, or no, it's the, this uses the standard accessibility size for a font is 18. We can get a close approximation to the real to the new size by multiplying by this scale factor. We multiply the fonts by the scale factor and cast to an int to remove or to them whole numbers. All right, that's done. That's done. Let's commit this. And this one I think we can actually send a pull request as is. Yay! All right, so I'm going to publish this branch to GitHub, and I'm going to send a pull request. So thank you everybody for joining. If there's any questions, I can hang out for a few minutes and answer questions. Anything Xamarin.Forms related, anything Xamarin related really. Doesn't have to be forms. Anything random and fun you want to do? Hey David, welcome back. Yes, we just finished the font scaling stuff for iOS. We also added new named fonts, which is really exciting. So if we look at this history, we now have name fonts of of body, header, title, subtitle, and caption. Also, all of the existing named fonts will also auto scale. So if you're using a named font and people have accessibility on, everything will scale up or down based on the phone settings, which is really exciting. We also did another branch of custom fonts, and on this one, we cleaned up and why is this one in such a hot mess? Disregard all. Yeah, I'd love to meet up with you, Dan, and talk about your mobile tool stuff, see what's going on, and then after we meet, we should do a live stream or something to talk about it and do something fun. Show it off to the world. Make sure we get that thing out there. Okay, and so on this one, I also added a test. Check it out. I added a test, David. We now have tests for our font parsing stuff, and we can add more of those in there to make sure that. And is that big enough? Can I make that bigger? Woo, that got really funky. So we now have fonts. What? Did I spell something wrong? No, I didn't say font farting, so. Yes, so I added a test for our font parsing, so that way we can make sure that these things parse out right, and I moved it into into shared code, so all the font parsing is cross-platform, and so the tests now work, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. All right, any questions, any other questions or things before we go? All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining my stream today. I'm glad you like it, Dave. There's a couple things I need to fix still on it before I get this one into a pull request, but the font scaling, it's ready for a pull request. I need to finish, oh, this also has the resource loading as well, and I've got to finish that on UWP before I do that pull request. That's going to be super simple, a couple lines of code. But thank you all. I'm going to end my stream now, and I will be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. PST, that is going to be doing my math 5 p.m. EST. See, PST is not even in my time zone, so I've got to do math no matter what. For my G Music, we'll be working on G Music, continue importing that to Xamarin Forms. So hope to see you all there.